Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jack and today we're going to do a review on 205 Live, our first 205 Live review on the channel. I used to do 205 Live reviews when it was after SmackDown, when it was actually live, and I kind of stopped that because it was adding to the length of the review and I didn't want to put people off seeing like 35 minute review of SmackDown, not knowing that 205 Live was at the end. And, I thought, okay, I'll stop that. But I've kept on watching it every week. If you've listened to the podcast, I'm the avid resident 205 Live watcher on the podcast. And I'm advocating it every week. I'm trying to get people to watch it. And that's the whole point of this review, I guess, is if I can get one or two people watching 205 Live, then fantastic, because it is one of the best. That and NXT, I would say, are on NXT more storytelling. This is more brilliance in the ring, I would say, because everyone just seems to be on point when it comes to wrestling. So, yeah, if I get one or two people, like I said, to go and watch 205 Live and become a fan, then I'm happy. I'm happy because I love it so much and I want other people to put their eyes on it. Eyes that it deserves. We start off the review then with Hideo Itami and Daivari coming out. Daivari obviously hasn't been seen for a while. He came back a few weeks ago. And he now seems to be Hideo Itami's mouthpiece, if you will. Which I'm fine with. It gets two more people. We get one more people on the on TV, on the network. And if you can cut a promo, he can cut a promo, which he seems he can. So it's fine by me. He cut a promo saying that the fans should be showing Hideo Itami respect. Obviously, because Hideo Itami's one of the best, or he was one of the best wrestlers in the world before coming to NXT and getting unfortunate with injuries and whatnot. Like, I wouldn't go as far as saying Itami is a flop, because he's just been so unlucky with injuries that what do you expect? Like, you can't have a man who's out for a good number of months, and when he comes back, he's out again for a good number of months. That's not his fault. That's just the way it landed. The way it landed. But he's in 205 Live. He hasn't been injured for a while, so fingers crossed he can get back to where he once was when he was Kenta. But yeah, Daivari was saying that the fans should be showing Itami respects, which, it's been Itami's shtick even throughout being on 205 Live. And he said that he shouldn't be a mouthpiece for Hideo Itami, but he just couldn't stand by and witness the disrespects from not only the fans but the wrestlers as well. And before they do anything, they deserve some actual competition. And unless Itami gets competition, 205 Live's cancelled. They're going to stand out here and 205 Live will be cancelled for tonight. Drake Maverick comes out, no music at all, he just comes out and goes, "Oi, oi, the only thing you two deserve is the suspension. So pack it in right there." And before that, before he could say anything else, Noam came out and said to Drake Maverick, "Look, just let me wrestle Itami, and I can try and prove what I can do." And Drake Maverick's like, "All right, we're gonna have a match right now. Noam Dar versus Hideo Itami. You go for it, kid." And that was the first match of the night. Noam Dar, Hideo Itami. It was a decent match. Both men got getting some decent offense in, and both men looking fairly decent. Itami picking up the win after managing to get Dar sat down in the corner to do his drop kick on him, and then he hit the falling knee strike to pick up the win. I wish they brought back the GTS for Itami, because granted he broke someone's, was it Kendrick's orbital bone, but it looked nice. It looks nice, but oh well. They can do what they want with the moves, can't they? And maybe one day we'll see Kenta do the GTS once again. Considering he invented it, I believe. People think that CM Punk invented it, but no, it was Kenta back in his Japanese days. Next up, we had Buddy Murphy speaking to Drake Maverick. Obviously, Buddy Murphy beats Cedric Alexander on Sunday at TLC to retain his Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy was saying that, look, Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali, they were supposed to be the best competition for me. I was supposed to lose to both of them. I was supposed to lose at Survivor Series to Ali, and I was supposed to lose to Cedric at TLC on Sunday. And both times I've proven people wrong, and both times I've come out as still Cruiserweight champion. And he also said that he's not just one of the best cruiserweights in the world. He's not just one of the best cruiserweights in the company. He is the best cruiserweight in the entire planet. And he's proven that time and time again. Drake Maverick says that, look, give me a few days to think about it. I'll sort something up and I'll make an announcement next week to say who your opponent's going to be. I don't know how they're going to do that, because next week it's a best of... it's like a montage package of what 205 Live's done this year. So I assume they'll have highlights of a match. Probably that Buddy Murphy, Mustafa Ali no DQ match from a few months ago, which was fantastic. So I don't know how they're going to announce that. Maybe announce it on a Raw or SmackDown. I don't know. I don't know. But with next week, we're going to see Buddy Murphy's opponent for Royal Rumble, I assume. And if I had to guess who it might be, I don't know. Maybe someone from the main roster. With all this change, maybe they'll demote someone to maybe TJP. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, TJP or Mike Kanellis, one of those two. They are both heels, but I think there's enough time to get one of them face. And actually, I quite like them. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I was thinking I quite like them both heel, so I don't really want them to turn face. Actually, moving on. Anyway, hopefully we get a good opponent for Buddy Murphy. Lio Rush versus local competitor Jobber. Lio Rush cuts a promo before the match, saying that he usually says a few words before his matches to hype up the crowd a little bit, to make this seem worthwhile. But now he's a busy man, you know. He doesn't really have time for that anymore. And then he starts a new sentence, and before he finishes a sentence, he just right hooks the Jobber. Absolutely gets a sucker punch on him. Jobber gets up. Lio Rush lays into him. After 30 seconds, there was the final hour, the frog splash from Lio Rush, but he doesn't pin the local competitor. He then just lays into him with punches after punches. Another final hour, and he does pin him this time, and Lio Rush picks up the easy win. Not much to say. It was a squash match. There's not much to say to squash matches, to be fair. Lio Rush looking like the dick he always is. Cedric Alexander cutting a promo backstage, and it was one of these phone promos where, well, they pretend to hold a phone, but it's quite clearly a camera. And he cut a promo saying that, look, he's chased championships before, and he has fallen at the last hurdle before, but 205 Live is his brand. 205 Live is his show, and that Cruiserweight title is his. And he warns Buddy Murphy, saying, I'll be coming back for that, buddy. So keep it warm for me, and I'll take it off you in the near future. Which, I like Cedric. He's a good performer, but I think it should be a good few months, maybe Mania or after Mania, until we see him back in the title picture, because he's had his chances. Next up, we've had main event time, and it was a really fun main event, like I said earlier. Jack Gallagher and Drew Gulak versus Tozawa and Brian Kendrick in a tag team street fight, or street tag team match. I don't know. It was a street fight either way, and Kendrick has had a shave for it, and Kendrick's looking very babyface. It would be like me if I shaved. I would look incredibly babyface as well. The star of this match was Drew Gulak by an absolute mile. He was the one who took the most punishment, I would say, but he also was the one that gave the most punishment out, I think I would say as well. Drew Gulak is just a star, in my opinion. I love Drew Gulak. I've loved him for months, and he needs to have a title run at some point. Maybe put Drew Gulak against Buddy Murphy. I'd like that. But he's another heel, isn't he? But he was really playing to the crowd. He was trying to antagonise them at every point, and he was using all types of weapons. He used a broom at some point to hit. He put a bin on Tozawa, and he was hitting the bin with the broom. He found a mop and a mop bucket, which was by ringside, and he started using that. He chucked it at Kendrick's throat at one point from point blank range, which is a bit rude. Drew, come on, mate. And then he took his belt off and used the clip where you poke into the hole of the belt. He used that to fish hook Brian Kendrick's mouth, which looked brutal. But then I also like that Tozawa came to help Kendrick and used his finger to fish hook Drew Gulak. So I like that. I like that a lot. Where did I get to on my notes? Tozawa and Brian Kendrick managed to bungee rope Drew Gulak to one of the outside ring posts. So they're on the outside to the ring post, and then just started chopping him, taking his shirt off, started chopping him non-stop, which I don't think I'd want to be in that position, really. And Jack Gallagher finally manages to help. I think he had a bin, which he chucked at the two faces. And they got one of those twizzly chairs, the rolly chairs, and they chucked Tozawa on it. Drew Gulak then pushed Tozawa, who was still sat in the chair, towards Jack Gallagher, who's kind of like drop kick / stomped on him, and it looks brutal as hell. It looks really good. I like that spot. And then a few minutes later, Kendrick put Gulak in the chair and then power slammed Jack Gulak onto the chair as well. And it didn't break, and Jack Gallagher managed to stay on the chair for a little bit, which it looked good. It looked good. And then we had a really good submission-based kind of sequence going on. We had Jack Gallagher put... I'm going to have to look at my notes for this. Jack Gallagher put Tozawa in some sort of reverse figure four kind of thing, reverse standing figure four. And then he was caught by Tozawa. No, he put Kendrick in a reverse figure four. He was caught by Tozawa, who put him in like... I can't remember what the name's called of the submission, but kind of he was on Jack Gallagher's shoulders, like sideways, with his legs around his neck, I think it was. I can't remember what it's called. So that was quite swift and quite nifty. And then quickly after, Gulak put Tozawa into a dragon sleeper hold, which I love a dragon sleeper. It looks brutal every time. I think it's because you can't see their face, so you can't actually see how much pain they're in. So it just looks brutal because all you can see is neck stretching, and it's fantastic. And then Brian Kendrick got up and he power slammed Jack Gallagher onto Drew Gulak to break up the submission. So that was a good little spot, good little fast-paced spot. And then it was quite swift from there. There wasn't any time to think. It was just like do bam, ba bam, ba bam, ba bam. Like that's what's good about 205 Live. There's no waiting around at times. It's just right. Let's just slickly move into this bit and then slickly move into that bit. And Jack Gallagher put Kendrick in an Indian deathlock, but Tozawa goes for a suicide dive on Drew Gulak, who's on the outside. And as you saw from the thumbnail, as Tozawa was going through the ropes, Drew Gulak just hit him with the bin, and it looked like Tozawa landed head first on the outside. It looked absolutely brutal. He finished the match, so hopefully he's okay, and he didn't get some sort of concussion from that. But Jack sets his sights on Kendrick. At this point, Kendrick was still sat up on the outside, on the top rope, and he went for a sliced bread version 2 on Gallagher, I think, and Gallagher managed to get off. He then went back up to the top rope. Kendrick countered him. Sliced Bread, Volume 2 on Jack Gallagher. And he picked up the win for the face team, which it was a really fun match. Go and check it out. Go and check out all of 205 Live. It's not that long. It's about 45 minutes long. So, if you've got time, go check it out. If I can try and convince 1 or 2 people to go and watch it, that's brilliant. The crowd weren't into it because where was this? Fresno, was it? Fresno in Cali? Terrible. Crap crowd. I mentioned it on SmackDown, but I'm not going to mention more here. But when the crowd's into it as well, it just makes the show even better. Even better. But if you did like this, please leave a like down below. Leave a comment on how you thought 205 Live went if you watched it as well. And subscribe if you're new around here or you have not done so already. And I shall see you again on Monday, I believe. Matt is going to be doing an NXT review, hopefully, today as well. We're going to be starting doing some more reviews. So if he's got time, Matt will do an NXT review every week. So fingers crossed he's got time, because NXT was excellent this week, as always. But yes, like, subscribe, comment what you thought, and thank you very much for watching.